2 episodes ago, I found out with the current tech that we use, I can make your image full screen on my computer and not look at myself. I only learned this 2 episodes ago because I get distracted because there's too many things going on the screen, and like I can make your screen bigger than mine, but then I'm like, whoa, I found out that I can right click in full screen. Like, oh, now it's really like I'm talking to a human, a 2D mat in front of me, and I don't have to like stare at like myself and like little things that are.
Wow.
Isn't it great?
Oh, I was like, or I can go full me, just really abuse myself. Just like, what's wrong with my face? I did the another bedhead sesh. I did the wake up and splash water on my hair. Can you tell?
It's a good
I got
look.
so much to work with. It's so voluminous.
Yeah, looks very summery, and the hairline is looking solid, and the flow is thick, and
flow is great. Thick.
Everything's great, man.
Thick flow. I've been doing this. I'm leaning all in. I'm pushing my hair to one side now. So I mean, that's basically what I've always had to do. But I've really got this big this dent here.
That's
I don't know, what do you call this part? What do you call this thing? The bald spot.
The
front bald spot.
It's not you can't have a front bald spot because it's hairline. Your hairline was in a dead heat between the left and right for years, and then the left just kept going and was like, oh, now we have a commanding lead on the hairline recession by left side. So it's like, I guess everyone's just gonna move over to the right while the hairline keeps going back.
Hair's gonna have to
until it connects with the bald spot.
Yeah,
that's exciting. It's like a nice heated race, and I mean, in 2024, I think we could place bets on it and stuff like that. I got the left side of the hairline to place. Speaking of bets, you're I want to let everyone know that Matt's last sure thing bet that we left off the last episode on didn't win, and then it got even more hilarious because we're still able to talk about hockey 1 week later when we were like, oh yeah, this thing's done. It's done and over with. We're hours away from crowning an NHL champion. It's a week later and we have not.
Yeah. This is the first time I've ever jinxed something, I think. Like
good
full on jinxed it. Like I mean, I think I'm still up in bets. I changed how much I was betting after that other game. I was like, okay, I can dial it back. But now what do? We got a game 7 coming up. I've been on the Panthers the whole time. I'm still in plus, but I'm willing to bet all of my positive monies on this game 7.
I think you have
to go back to 0.
I think you have to. I think that's the only way to do this is make sure that you're betting all of the money that you're up. Because you need the credibility bounce back. You either need to break even and go, let us never speak of this again. There was never any bets. Or it's, see, I told you. In the long run, I know how to do this. So I think that's what you're left with.
Well, and the idea was, to me, the Panthers were unstoppable. And I want them to lose. So that's why I'm betting for them. That was the whole conceit.
Hedging your emotion. It's the emotional hedge.
Yeah, they win, I win. And now it's like, I can't. If I bet on the Oilers game 7, the Panthers are going to win for sure. And then I'm not going to win any money. I can't go back on that. I think I just have to bet.
Oh, you 100% have to bet the Panthers. Yeah. You 100% have to.
Yeah. And if they don't, it's full circle.
Right. So be it. Because then you get an even money and Edmonton wins. That's still a pretty solid emotional hedge. You would have liked to bet up money, but you would have, if you bet on the Panthers, you'd go even money. Worst case scenario is you go even money, but the Oilers win and Canada gets Lord Stanley's Cup.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Which I'm pretty sure the entire nation would shut down this week for the parade. Like Canada would just all like, well, I guess there's no school in, or else school would be called off. But I'm pretty sure all jobs like business will cease functioning because they're like, no, it doesn't matter anymore. We have the cup.
And it's such like the idea that it's Canada versus Florida.
Right. Right.
The hockey hub of Florida.
Right. There's nothing that screams hockey. Like literally the Florida, the most southern hockey team we have in the end of June during a record heat wave. I don't think there's anything that screams Game 7 NHL hockey like Florida in the middle of a heat wave at the end of June. I mean, that is hockey, baby. That's what kids dream about. I'm sure when you were skating around, you're like, someday I'm going to play in the NHL. It's Matt Jones, NHL, Game 7, game on the line. It's a shootout. He's only got one goal to save, and after that, he's going to go out for ice cream because it's extremely hot outside and maybe go to the pool.
It's every little kid's dream to stop a puck on the beach.
You bet. Yeah. You betcha.
I love, like, there is this U.S. versus Canada thing that some people are like really invested in. Americans like, we can't let Canada win a cup. It's like, dude, they need this. This is like really bad.
Like that's like especially in like an election year when everyone needs an opinion on something patriotic. It's like, like the hardcore right-wing conservatives are like, we can't be letting another country come in and take this cup. What's it called again? Storley's, whatever, man. That cup is America. Like, there's nothing more American than ice hockey. Canada's sitting there going, check out these motherfuckers.
Check out these motherfuckers.
Cue them.
I've confused my priorities. Isn't it
about 7 minutes deep? Let's go.
Yes, this is how it's meant to be. Every little thing flashing on a screen. My daddy worked hard for this.
All right.
Yeah, I'll definitely. You know, it's weird. I won't even get to watch the game because I'm going to be at work.
Okay. Ooh, so what's the plan?
Because it sucks. It's kind of like a Super Bowl day of hockey.
Yeah.
But not for me.
So, do you have any means of watching it after?
I mean, I can just
social
record
media
it on my
avoidance. Hulu. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be not that far behind.
Did you tell your father, please don't talk about anything about hockey while I'm working?
I guess I should.
Probably should.
I mean, it's not as big a deal as a Bruins game.
Understandable.
I mean, I can just ignore texts.
Okay.
But I was just going to see what the line is right now. Because I think in the first game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Did you look it up?
Well,
wow.
I saw that
they're both minus.
Exactly. It was like minus 115, minus 105 or something, maybe.
Yep. That is close.
Yeah. So
not confident.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's even money for those people that don't know. So there's no betting favorite. It's basically saying now Panthers are the very, 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 very slight favorite. But essentially, this is the one where Las Vegas and bookies win because no one gets positive bets. You either bet $105 to win 100. Yep. You're betting $105 to win 100 if you're going Edmonton, or you're betting $115 to win 100 if you're going Panthers. So looks like at one point it went to Florida or Edmonton being a plus 100 at one point, even money. But yeah, I don't know, man. Are you going to go real sassy and do Panthers with the goal to get 220? Or you got to go
minus
I don't
think.
Yeah.
I do not have that confidence, but
okay. Okay.
Confidence. Betting isn't about confidence. It's just about giving money away to the needy, the needy Vegas bookies.
That's true.
And that's the spirit of it.
They say Vegas is on its way out near bankruptcy. Oh no, that's incorrect. Vegas is raking in record money right now. Never mind. I totally forgot. Because that's the best part about Vegas. People are like, Vegas is going to become irrelevant, and I beg to differ. With betting sweeping the nation, I think all that's happened is people that had no interest in Vegas got a little tasty taste. And now are like, yo, we should go to Vegas for the weekend and like sports bet and stuff. Yeah, like Vegas literally benefited somehow from people being able to gamble at home. It's amazing. Go America.
Yeah, Vegas is growing immensely right now because they're getting sports teams and they got the circle.
The sphere. It's a 3D. It's 3D unit. Yeah. It's not the circle.
It looks like a circle on TV. But,
I don't know where they get the sphere from.
Yeah. And it may, I was thinking this week, I do miss gambling on my phone when I was in Jersey, when I was visiting your place. And I was like, I'm going to try it. Like, can I use my VPN to make my phone think I'm in New Jersey again so I can play poker or blackjack on my phone? I don't know why I didn't think about that before. Probably because it's like bad idea.
The sites absolutely know if you're using a VPN. Gambling sites, and they're like, yeah, that's not. Gambling sites are like, that's not how that works, Chief.
And what's the point in having it?
The VPN?
Yeah.
I don't need generic privacy like banking and stuff. I just want to I just want to make you think where I am so I can gamble with you.
What is your football shirt? Why does it say football?
Football is life.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Danny Rojas from Ted Lasso. That's all it is. It's a Ted Lasso shirt. Football is life.
That's right. You've worn that before. Yeah.
So
is there a World Cup this year? Oh, it's Olympics this year.
No, it's Olympics this year. World Cup's 26.
Are we going to be able to? I never noticed before, but can you bet on the Olympics? This will be the first year we can find out about that, huh?
Ooh.
That would be exciting. Races.
You got to be able to, right?
Imagine betting on 100-meter sprints or like pool races. That'll be exciting.
That could make the Olympics ratings skyrocket compared to what they are.
Let's see if that's already a known question.
You can literally bet on the Olympics.
First question. Can you bet on said the Olympics? With Olympic prop bets or proposition bets, you can wager on the performances of individual athletes, like the top scorer in hockey, or how many individuals and how many events an athlete will win. So, prop bets. It looks like there's some sites that will do it. Obviously, I guess that's just the way it'll always be. So I guess more the question is, will it be available on the online books?
Right. We'll have to see. If so, dude, that's going to have to be something we do is bring the best prop bets, like the best bets we can construe for the Olympics.
That would make my summer for sure. Because I've just been thinking about. I started watching baseball.
About 3 weeks. It's about 2.5 weeks of hardcore gambling on the most absurd stuff we can talk about.
Yeah. With hockey being just about done, I've started to watch some Yankees games locally now, just to see if I'm into it. And I'm like, I got to bet on this. So I'm like, it is the dog days of summer when it's just baseball. Nothing else is going on. But the Olympics, oh God, that could be so fun. I don't know who would make the bet. I mean, I don't know who the pros are that would make the bets on it or set the lines. But please do it for our sake. Yeah. We need this.
Yeah, I want to put money on, shot put. And like, how do you like betting on like the different races? Be like, dude, I will lay money on the 500-meter relay all day. But if you ask me who's going to win the 200, your guess is as good as mine. Like, that just sounds insane. Like,
yeah.
I can bet on this
Who's
foot
been
race, but not this foot
hurdling
race.
good? I what was it last Sunday? I bet on the U.S. Open.
Okay.
I did bet on Bryson DeChambeau because he had a 3-shot lead, and I paid the juice. It was minus 115 for him to win the tournament, and I was like, 3 shots? That's easy. Like, I'm gonna go. I'll bet $100, and I'll just win my, whatever it is, like 90 back
or whatever.
And it'll, because it's 3-shot, dude. He's by hole 15, he's down 2 strokes to Rory McIlroy. He gives up 5 shots, and in spectacular fashion, Rory blows it, misses 2 3-foot putts in the last 2 holes. Bryson has this epic bunker save on 18 to win it, and there you go. I made my money. But it was very exciting golf.
No sweat money. No sweat money.
Yeah. It can never be no sweat money, ever. As soon as you make a bet, it's coming down to it.
Oh, dude, it's even worse in football. Even worse in football. When you like fantasy or just gambling, you're like, dude, an hour into the game, you're like, everything is so fine. There's no way this falls apart. And you just watch it slowly get worse and worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one ever like when you're like, oh wow, this baseball team won by 12. I bet it felt good to whoever bet that. No one bet it. Like, you'll never find anyone that bet that game before and was just like, wow, I comfortably led after 1 inning, I led by 6 runs and it only got wider. Like, you never find anyone that actually bet on those games.
No. Even so with baseball, what's the baseball bet that like? It seems like the popular one seems like no runs first inning.
Prop bets are way more popular than just betting on the games in baseball. It's betting on
like
the games is not,
or how many bases.
Exactly.
That kind of thing.
Total bases, home runs hit, 2 or more hits is a popular one. No runs first inning. Trying to think of some other ones. Pitcher props, you might, on a strikeout pitcher, you might pitch on how many strikeouts they get. If you like the matchup and stuff like that. So strikeout props for a pitcher is probably the most seen or sought after one. But yeah, I mean, baseball's wild because you can get yourself really excited and string together some nonsensical parlays and be like, yo, I think I got a really good chance at this. This guy to get a hit, this guy to get a hit, and this guy to hit a home run. Dude, I'm getting like plus 2,700, and these guys are like studs. Yeah. I got 2 guys batting like 300, and this guy like is in top 3 home run hitters. What could possibly go wrong? It does. It makes it seem way too easy and likely to do like a 3-person parlay.
Well, what would be awesome? I guess a sports book would have to do it. I wonder if a regular Joe could make this app, because I guess it is technically gambling. But the game, when you go to a baseball stadium and you're there with like 5 people, and did you ever play the game like the solo cup with the dollar bill? So every time somebody's up, you put $1 in, you have the cup. If the person gets a hit, you take all the cash out and you pass it along. If they don't get a hit, you keep passing it. That's all you do until somebody gets hit. Then you get to take the $1 out. So it's just a simple way to like, make a little money or whatever.
You take the pot out. Okay.
Yeah. Why isn't there should be a digital app version of that where you can like log on with 5 randoms, like watching a game, and you just digitally put in $1 each time. Whatever you can put. Maybe you can set the kind of like if you play different poker tables, like 6-man, 12-man. Yeah. Maybe like
you could have
12 man is $2 a cup.
Yeah, you could.
Is this a thing?
Yeah, I mean, just obviously the site. Well, there's 2 ways the sites could do it. One way would be the legit way: register as a gambling website, take the money off the top. So obviously, not everything would come back. You'd probably get 92% back or something like that. The house would keep whatever. But the other site would be them to try to market it illegitimately as just like a points system and then knowing everyone's Venmoing each other behind. But then obviously you wouldn't be able to. It wouldn't work with strangers. It would work as house games, but it wouldn't work with strangers because you could never pitch that. So yeah, I mean, weird house betting would be a really cool thing to try to pull off on like an app, like only non-traditional betting allowed on an app.
Gotta figure out how to make money on this. I really want to.
Exactly.
Dude, how do we make money?
X.
Well, I guess, yeah, you just buy points with dollars, and then you use your points, put your points in the cup, and then you can exchange points for dollars. for cash and prizes. Dude,
right.
That'd be so fun. I would make me watch baseball. Like, I don't even care. Like strangers, like then you could get out of it whenever, and then they would just populate with another user who wants to jump in at some point.
I've done that at a Super Bowl. Pass the cup every down, or yeah, every down you pass the cup. You put in. I think we only did like. I think we did it with like quarters, so I think it was like 50 cents every play. And if the touchdown happens when you have a cup, you get all of the money. If a field goal happens when you have the cup, I think the pot goes. You get half the pot, is what we did. But yeah, I love that type of like chance betting too. Although I am really, really thinking about bailing on Super Bowl squares. I don't know the last time I made money off Super Bowl squares.
I've never.
So I think I'm bailing on it. I will still do NCAA tournaments because it's long lasting, and I've come down to like the Final Four with. I usually do like a bracket. I usually do 2 brackets, sometimes 3. I almost like for the last 10 years, I bet 9 of them I've come down to the Final Four still being a possibility of winning mathematically. So, I'll always do brackets even if I don't win because I feel like I get enough out of them. Super Bowl squares, I'm usually completely pissed off and throwing my hands up by the time they announce what numbers I get. And it's like, Jeff, congrats. You got 2 and
5 and 5
and 5. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, good. All I need someone to do is score 12. No, that's not good. 2, very unlikely a safety before anything else. Okay. How about 22? Probably not. 32, not any better. Like, 42. That one might be easy. Just six touchdowns and extra points. 42. That should be easy. So
yeah, what you're really hoping for, especially
yeah,
there's like those squares that do like every minute they pay out or something like that, or every few minutes. And like if you have 0 and 0, that's the lottery right there. You got it. You got it. Pick it up.
And squares are just getting bigger and bigger. People are getting wild with square costs. I've had someone approach me about $1,000 a square board. I'm like, I don't want to do that at all. I'm like, please don't.
I did $100 square
board.
A couple years
I'm
ago.
like, $100,000 on the board? I'm like, no.
Well, there's I've been watching a lot lately on YouTube. Revisiting is World Series of Poker. I haven't watched televised poker in a long, long time. Like, I don't know why. I just kind of fell out of whatever the zeitgeist a little bit. There's obviously still the players. So I've been watching like Daniel Negreanu's. He's got like a vlog every day.
Yeah.
Of, like the tournaments he's going in and like behind the scenes, and because he's just a character anyway, so it's fun to watch. But because obviously the main event was the thing that blew it up, the $10,000, and it was like, holy shit, $10,000 to get into this tournament. But he's entering. There's World Series events that are $100,000, and then he just entered one that was $250,000 just to get into it. I'm like, holy fuck! Jesus. That is. Imagine just having that. So he's down. I don't think he's won anything. So he's down like 650,000 or something like that in the first 25 days. He's like, he never even talks about money. It doesn't even matter to him because he's won so much in cash game. I mean, he's won tons of tournaments in his life, things like that. But that is
Negreanu is so good. Like meaning like he's definitely like the best thing for that sport because it's almost like, I don't know if it's dangerous because like he's so well spirited that it's like does that make poker seem harmless? Gambling hundreds of thousands, like, is that actually a negative? But like, he makes it so enjoyable to watch But man, dude, when poker blew up, I could sit and watch ESPN, because it wasn't on ESPN Classic. It was on, I don't think ESPN ever really hosted it, but ESPN2, World Series of Poker would hard turn into ESPN2 8 hours a day for World Series of Poker. And I'd watch. Dude, I'm like, yo, they're playing a Raz tournament now? Sure, I'll sit and watch. This is $1,000 buy-in pot limit Omaha. Yeah, sure, I'm in. I just started watching whatever they would feed me. But yeah, I mean, it's got a good presence on social media because you can just do poker vloggers that make you experience a hand first party. And I'm like, oh, this is this is delightful to watch. So
well, it's weird. When did they start being able to film or have cell phones in casinos and shit like that?
I don't understand. And casinos don't care about texting or anything. The only thing I've seen that you can't do at a casino is still a phone call. You can't take a phone call certainly while you're active in the hand, or you can't be on the phone talking while you're active in a hand. And I don't think even after you folded a hand, they want you to stand up and walk from the table. So
I'm just going to pull out this blackjack table, this hit stand table. Don't worry about it. I mean, what actually, let's say you had a blackjack table of what you should play every hand. The casino still shouldn't care because ultimately they're still 51% favorites over the long haul on that, aren't they? Or a little more or whatever it is. So
yeah.
Because you could just have it memorized anyway, whatever the table is. And they use 10 decks or whatever it is. So it's kind of makes it a little moot. But yeah, but it's cool. It's a different type of access, just having that video camera there. Because he'll just stand up at tables and he'll ask the guys next to him, what'd you do there? Why are you pushing me there? What'd you have? And you can tell he's trying to fish for information. By being kind of the kid poker, just being this is what I had. What'd you have? Yeah, I made a play on me, huh? But he's really trying to get info from this guy by making it seem like it's just a vlog or something like that.
Yep.
And he also does a lot of Beat Saber. So very entertaining. And his wife is smoking. Of course she is.
Oh, really?
Daniel Legrado. Remember in 20 years ago we were watching him, he was basically already bald, balder than I am right now. And he sort of did a comb over. Well, now he's got full head of hair, but you could see the plugs and he doesn't care. He's all in on it. You can see all the boop, 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 boop.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe man, maybe I should get the plugs are so obvious. It's really weird looking, but I don't know. I guess I couldn't do it. I was could I do it?
From afar, it looks good.
Yeah.
From afar, it looks really good.
If you're up close, you can see it all. What's your take? Here's where this comes from. I watched Fight Club this week. I was trying to find a movie at night to watch. And I have a list. I have a bunch of new movies that I've been wanting to watch, but it was I might fall asleep or something like that. So I don't want to do something new and then wake up 45 minutes later and be lost. So I put on Fight Club, but then I was I haven't seen this in over 20 years.
Okay.
Easy. And I was whoa, this is different. It's different to watch something or consume some kind of piece of art, music, movies, whatever, when you're a different person. And now that I've done it with Fight Club, I kind of want to go back and revisit. I guess we did it with the Creed thing too. But it's kind of how do you see it differently? Because I remember when you're in high school, when I was in high school, Fight Club, all I think is the aesthetics in a way, oh, it's so cool. Brad Pitt's so shredded. Edward Norton's cool as fuck. Oh, look at all that blood. Now I watch it. I'm this is very problematic. These guys are psychopaths, but it's interesting to watch it that way. Cause I wouldn't think oh, these guys are cool. I'm what's wrong? This guy is a schizophrenic in some way, he's this is a kind of a mental health. This guy wants to see the world burn. That's how he wants to deal with them mundane, boring parts of his life and his work. But he's okay being like a social outcast, but he's really just kind of an asshole. So I would think that's one of the most pervasive feelings I think you could feel revisiting old stuff, is like what you thought was cool, characters, things like that. Probably now you look back and be like, it's kind of an asshole. Like, I think there's a lot of movies where I could think of that. But now I want to go. I don't even know where to start. But
I think what it is now is you still enjoy the character. Like, you're not thinking they're cool, but like you can still enjoy. Like nowadays, you can still enjoy the character, but also there's the other half of you going like, "Wow, what a piece of shit!" Like you're just like incredible. Like, that's kind of like what Wolf of Wall Street is. Like, the movie as a movie is fantastic, but you know that it's based on true story. And when you think of like, this is how things actually took place in the world, you're like, man, this movie's hilarious, but that Jordan Belfort is a fucking bad person. Like, holy shit, you are a bad human being. Cause not that most billionaires didn't, but like you built your wealth crippling other people knowingly. And you're just like, I just don't fucking care. Cause it's like no victim, no crime. Like, just if I can't see these people and I don't experience them, what do I fucking care who I'm lying to over the phone and, securities fraud and all of that. And it's just like, no, it's just, I'm seeing like, clearly he was able to remove himself from the reality and just, it's like, this is all paper. It's just weird paperwork. It's all, as Matthew McConaughey puts it, it's all fugazi. But yeah, like, I love that movie, but I'm like, my God, these people were fucking horrible. So yeah, I mean, I don't know that you could do it with comedies, because comedies, they are what they are, right? It's supposed to make you laugh. They're not supposed to be realistic, but Fight Club's a good one where you're like, yeah, I definitely interpreted this differently because the art part was way over my head and I was just seeing it as a blockbuster movie as a child, when in reality, the fact that it even was popular was incredible, the type of movie it was. But I also feel like the ad campaign was, we're going to advertise it as if it's a blockbuster, and then you're going to be strapped in for 2 hours of what the fuck did I just watch? Like, they blindsided people after getting them to the theater. It's like, this is about an underground flight club. Yeah, kinda. I mean, but it's not an
Project
action
Mayhem,
movie.
Blowing up the whole credit system, all that. Well, then part of it is like, I kind of feel for his boss. I know I'm not supposed to, because he's like the bad guy. He represents like corporate America and what bad, but the guy just wants him to show up for work, and like, he's got somebody he's got to answer to also. And this guy's just making it really hard on him, because he's barely showing up, he's just like showing up with blood on his shirt. And it's just like, but come on, man. And he doesn't fire him. He's like, he gives him a lot of chances, really. He doesn't like just get rid of, he's kind of being pretty patient with him, even though he's like portrayed as an asshole. He's not really a total asshole. He's just like a normal, whatever, middle management dude.
Right.
I think that's the opposite message of the movie. But I do like the narration. It is 90s stylized. I want to try to remember more of those like late 90s hyper stylized movies that are like either feign kind of like this philosophic undertone or like overtly have the narration of it. So I've been trying to think of stuff like that. Like, I wonder if a movie like around that time, like Go, like I wonder if I revisit that, because that was one I remember watching and I think I was supposed to like. If you liked Fight Club, it was like one of those, a lot of things happening at once, following something in a day, or whatever, a few people, fast paced hyper shit. And I wonder if it's just that. That's basically, I want to find more 90s stylized stuff, because Brad Pitt's like his leather coat. I mean, he's 90s as fuck. the sunglasses he's wearing. That's when he's like shreddy McGetty. I mean, he's always been, good looking dude, but he's got that, that's when he has the dick abs, basically, right, all the way down to the pubis. It's like, it was. I mean, that was a hot clip. That was a hot scene.
Those
for a while.
Those 90s movies. Yeah, you're right. They're 90s that jump around single day concept was so hot in the 90s. Yeah, I don't know. Go, I do like, and if you look back too, it's got some really interesting cast members in it that I think do a really good job. It's kind of your grab bag of secondhand cast members. I mean, granted, Timothy Olyphant probably became the most successful out of. Yeah, I would say he became. Who became more successful, Timothy Olyphant or Katie Holmes? You'd have to go Olyphant, right?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the list here.
What's your?
I would say Timothy Olyphant in terms of critical success.
Yeah.
And Katie Holmes, what was her big? She was that Dawson's Creek, right? That was probably her biggest.
I don't think as an adult she ever did a ton. She was the OG. What's her face in Batman?
Batman, yeah.
But then they pulled her for Maggie Gyllenhaal, or she quit.
Rachel.
Or whatever it went.
Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel. What's his face? Taye Diggs.
Yeah.
Is in it.
Melissa McCarthy's in it. I don't remember that.
Wow, really?
Maybe a small role. I don't know. Breckin Meyer.
Yup.
Jane Krakowski.
Yes. Wow, I forgot Jane Krakowski's in it. She's the wife of what's his name? William Fichtner, who's an awesome secondary actor.
He's an awesome guy.
He is I'm gonna put my money down. He might be the best that guy in Hollywood. He's so good.
Yeah. You don't know what you couldn't pin him on anything really, but
but you enjoy him in everything he's been in.
Here's movies he's been in. Let's see if somebody's listening. Just from, you don't know. If you're just listening, you don't know. Here, I'll name off some movies, then I'll show a picture of him if you're watching. But I'm going to name off some movies that William Fichtner is as that guy. And let's just see if you can figure out what he might look like based on the movies that I'm going to say.
If you can imagine him.
Yeah. Armageddon, Black Hawk Down, The Longest Yard, The Perfect Storm, Elysium, Blades of Glory, Contact, Equilibrium. Oh, that's a good one. Heat, The Dark Knight, Ultraviolet. I remember that movie. Wow, he's been in Crash. He was in Independence Day. Holy fuck! What a fucking lineup. And then Prison Break. He was on the show Prison Break. But yeah, it's this guy. I'm going to share it just so anybody's yeah, check this out. This is definitely the ultimate that guy with that list of movies. Are you serious?
Yeah, man.
There he is. It's that dude. We've all seen him. We've all seen him a lot more than we thought we have. Yeah, that's the ultimate career, isn't it? You want a William Fichtner career in anything you do.
And I think is he from Rochester? Hold on. I feel or Buffalo. Hold on.
He went to Brockport.
That's what it is. Yeah. He went to Brockport.
Yeah. Damn.
Yep.
So he was born in Long Island but raised in Cheektowaga.
So he's from Buffalo and went to Brockport.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm not crazy.
That guy.
That did actually happen.
Dude, being that guy. See, and that's his moment. His moment right now is just once in a while, there's a couple 40-something white guys that just discover me. That's his career highlight. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
Or he'll be that guy that when he's 75 gets that Oscar nod, kind of like what's his name, Christopher Plummer type deal. Just he's always around, and then finally gets that one tour de force role.
Finally gets acknowledgement with that Best Supporting Actor nominee.
Yeah, like Bruce Dern, like one of those
Bruce Dern
old guy deals. Yeah.
What other than Go? I mean, other movies that were like that. I'm thinking. Kind of like Memento was in that theory, even though there was also the play that it was told backwards. Rules of Attraction, that had Jessica Biel, James Van Der Beek, Shannon Sossman. That's exactly the same type of thing.
Shannon Sossman was hot. couple
Oh yeah,
years.
40 Days and 40 Nights and that, like.
Yeah. She had that
Yeah,
late 90s, early 2000s haircut.
Oh yeah,
Rocking
the,
the,
like
the
kind of
sort
like
of
the pixie
bangs.
cut type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those movies I always thought were cool. They were a little over my head usually when they first came out. Then I really liked them in college, and I think I would still like them, but I don't know that I would herald them as much, but maybe that was just the style of movie, and I liked those. Another real good one was 200 Cigarettes. That one didn't make it as popular as everyone else, but that's kind of there's a movie called like Valentine's Day. It's about a bunch of different people's Valentine's Days, and it's like one of those like mega ensemble casts movies.
Yeah, they do the different holiday versions of that, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. And I think 200 Cigarettes was the OG of that concept with a bunch of randos. So let me pull up 200 Cigarettes, 1999. So it's right in the wheelhouse.
Is that Christina Ricci? Is she in that?
Yes. But so is everyone else under the sun. So I'm going to read off the cast on Wiki. Ben Affleck. Our introduction to Casey Affleck. Dave Chappelle. Elvis Costello as Elvis Costello. Guillermo Diaz. Janine Garofalo. Kate Hudson. Courtney Love. Jay Moore. Christina Ricci, and Paul Rudd. And it's everyone in their own thing preparing for New Year's Eve. And at the end of the movie, they all end up at the same party. And somehow, obviously, their stories begin to intertwist and stuff like that. Oh, and Martha Plimpton. Is Martha Plimpton our 1990s that girl? Look up Martha Plimpton.
Show me.
Can I?
I gotta know.
All right, hold on.
Martha Plimpton. I love that. Is a perfect name for that girl.
All right. Trying to share screen.
What are some of her creds?
Let me see. Let me pull up her wiki.
I'm trying to think. You know who's at that? I just saw her. She was. I know. I know who. You know who I think is a that woman in movies. And I saw her in Willy's Wonderland. You're gonna know. Yeah, her name's Beth Grant.
Name doesn't strike me.
Yeah, perfect.
Right, exactly.
So,
good. It's starting.
Here's some movies that she's in.
Okay.
So Willy's Wonderland, Donnie Darko, The Rookie, Speed, No Country for Old Men, Child's Play 2, Dance with Me, Rain Man.
Okay. I think I have this. What is her name again? Can I get the name again? I feel like this is like a spelling bee. Can I get the name again?
Beth Grant.
I have an idea of who I think it might be.
Here, I'm gonna share it. You're gonna. You're gonna recognize her.
Right. I'm probably gonna recognize her.
I always recognize her because she always clearly like never has like her look is like never has makeup. Always the same age.
It's gotta be
kind of lady.
Yes, that's her. That's her. Yep.
100%.
100%. Because I'm like, I think I know. And then you go Speed. I go, it's the wacky, like the frizzled lady in Speed. I'm like, it's gotta be her.
Yeah. Classic. Yeah. No makeup, always frazzled or always weird. She'd never be like the love interest or anything like that.
No, it's gotta be like a quirky couple lines or something where you're like, what is this person's deal? You know, if aliens were coming, she's the one that has the premonition about it. Like, not that she's like, not that she's talented, but she's the weirdo that like kind of guesses correctly. All right. So Martha Plimpton is Goonies, 1989's Parenthood, another ensemble cast. Fantastic. Let's see. Beautiful Girls, 200 Cigarettes, Dante's Inferno, See, again, yeah, she really tapered off in the 90s. So 80s and 90s. I'm going to show you her, but maybe, again, this may not be a That Girl. Maybe it's just movies particularly that I've seen, and it eschews that for me.
Is she one of the Goonies?
I mean,
is she the blonde?
Why is it not letting me share? Share.
Tap it in. Just tap it in. Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo.
What is it?
Oh, boy.
Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Her?
So,
yeah, she's the blonde with the glass. My glasses. I can't.
Yeah, and like, you know, it gets into it with mouth and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was in a TV show too, or wasn't she?
Oh, was she?
Yeah, like not too long ago. I think she played some kind of white trash person.
I mean, that holds. That holds. But yeah, she I think she did good work, but it looks like I don't know if acting bailed on her or if she bailed on acting.
What would you, you know what I just saw? In terms of revisiting music.
Mm-hmm.
So I had already started to write a list of like music I wanted to revisit. So I started to do it at the gym now. So one of it was like Green Day, Dookie. I haven't heard it in a long time.
Okay.
But I wanted to hear it in the scope of like the entire album. Same with like Offspring Smash. And actually X-Nay and the Ombre, that was a big one because I used to spin that in my 3-second anti-skip CD fanny pack when I mowed lawns. So I wanted to like hear it from start to finish just to get maybe the nostalgia of it. So it's a balance of like, does it hold up? Do I still like it? Do I still care for it? And do I remember it? And does it elicit more of that nostalgia, or can I just receive it now as who I am? And it fell somewhere in the middle. There were some parts of songs that I was like, it did send me back to a moment or a feeling, and then some moments, especially now. I feel like usually when I watch things for the first time, or especially when I was younger, I think I was just taking it in aesthetically. Like, what did it look like? What did it feel like? What were the beats? And now, like, usually on further watchings, viewings, listenings, I think I go more in for the lyrics now, or as a whole, as an ensemble, like, what is it presenting? So I've been doing that. And one of the other ones I wrote down was 311. I was like, I need to go back. I want to see 311, or, you know, and as soon as I put out into the ether the thought, 311 drops a new song. If you notice, there's like a bunch of like 90s band, like Sum 41 dropped some new songs lately. I think Avril's going on tour. But yeah, 311 just dropped a new single. Nick Hexum is like super shreddy. Have you seen this? He's like
shreddy, like
he's almost
in shape.
Yeah, you got to see this video. I was like, is that
dude? Hexum
right
never stopped. Like, as far as like 311,
yeah,
like 311 never stopped. They just kept going because Nick Hexum just keeps doing stuff.
They've been doing like, they were early on that like cruise, like band cruise shit.
Oh, okay.
But where's the new video? Like, all of a sudden, it's almost like a Fight Club video, and that's what made me think of Fight Club. See how this all comes full circle? But I watched this video. What's it called? You think it'd be a lot easier to find a fucking 311 new video,
right?
311. Oh, you're gonna get it. So let me. I'm just gonna pull it up just and like put up a scene where you can see. Because he just comes out, you can tell it's a kind of a weird flex. It's like, hey, even though I'm 50 something, I'm shredded. It seems a little bit self-serving, I'll say, but you know what? It's one of those, if you got it, flaunt it kind of things. So yeah, I'll play it without the sound. Here, let me share. So this is him. So he's got, you know, doing a little bit of the boxing, air boxing. you don't slow down,
it won't sink in. You're wrong. Out there in the great unknown. Rolling too fast, 200 on the dash. Tell me what you do, what you do.
There he is, got the six pack. But then it pops into like, you know, goes from that vibe to the heavy. And, you know, do I like it? I don't know. But it sounds like 311. It's like...
It very much sounds like 311.
Then they have Peanut. Peanut comes back in, too. He's still in it. Throws down his white guy rap. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's been fun. And so I guess I'm... Like, the exercises, I think... In a way, it's self-exploratory in like, what did I like? Why do I think I liked it? Do I still like it? And now I'm wondering, is it worth the time? Is it worth the time to do that? To go back and is it just for nostalgia? And is that okay? Or can I learn? Like, I think the best thing that could come out of it is like thinking like, oh, I was probably into this because of that. And this is how I've changed. Like using it as a measuring stick for who I am now. Like, do I still like it? Do I not? Why did I like it? Like, why am I different? Why am I seeing this through a different lens now? What experiences in my life have changed me to like be into this now or not into it? So I think I'm sort of on that train right now of digging through old stuff. And I don't know what I'm going to get out of it.
I think you can appreciate it in a light experiment, but I think if you dig down too deep, I think you're looking for answers that either A, don't exist, or B, don't really matter. Like, I think it's cool to go like, have I sat down and like listened to the lyrics and thought about what they're like, why they wrote this song? I think stuff like that's pretty interesting because I could argue I could do the same thing with being like, did I even if I knew the words, did I know why I was singing the words? Like what they're actually portraying, or am I just repeating what I know? Like that, it's probably the latter. So I think you go in knowing if you're going to still enjoy it. I think more than you probably give yourself credit for. Like, I think it's great to revisit an album as a whole. Because certainly I didn't do that enough as a kid. I was the kid who bought the CD and listened to like 3 tracks on the CD and didn't give the other stuff any play. Like not until I was in college did I really, really start appreciating full CDs. It probably was very limited even up through high school. Full CDs were limited to like, for me was like Metallica. And that was probably more so because you and my brother Brian were big into it. So I'm like, okay, if I listen to full CDs of Metallica, like people will get what I'm talking about and stuff like that. And name drop Chris Hauser because he was so into Metallica and stuff too. So it was like we could talk about like full albums, live albums. That's what got me into live music and appreciating how different live is from studio. But yeah, I mean, revisiting old albums to be like, I want to know what these non-radio hit songs were on this album that I bought. Why did I buy, the Fuel album that had that their second album that had like Hemorrhage in My Hands on it because I like that song.
Oh my God.
Like, but should I listen to the rest of it? What does that sound like? So I think it's cool to dive in and give credit if you didn't on certain albums because you wanted to see what else the artist brought and see if you could find like a new favorite. I think having a new favorite amongst the old songs is very normal because you're like, for some reason, how this song is constructed or the lyrics to this song hit me in a way it never did as a kid for one reason or another. So I think it's cool to do that, but maybe leave it at that surface. Scratch the surface of let me listen to this whole album and actually tell myself, out of those songs I just listened to, which is my favorite song? What did I enjoy the most? And you might pleasantly surprise yourself and then hold on to that song and put it in your normal rotation. But I would leave it at that. If you dig too deep, you're going to look for answers and then either convince yourself of answers just because you're looking for them, or you're just going to like, is there a need when you're like, well, I didn't listen to like horribly like offensive, like judgmental music. Like I didn't so it's like, I'm not reassessing like my rage and my anger. So I don't want you to like think of that, because like it's okay to like your old music and to like what you like. But I think switching up a little bit and reanalyzing what you do like is a pretty fun activity. Yeah. And those are great albums that you did it with. Dookie's easy to do with it, and both of those Offspring albums, even Americana, when they really started kind of branching out. Ixnay's definitely an album we listened to incessantly when it came out, front to back too. Same with Smash, but
well, because then I've been doing this thing where I would almost like skip the like All I Want. That was the big hit, which also I was thinking of in terms of radio eras. When All I Want came out, like 95 or 96, that might have been one of the pinnacle like record music off the stereo eras of like, you know, Offspring, and then Rage Against the Machine, Pumpkins. Like, God, there was some hella mixtapes coming out of that era. Some really good shit. But sometimes I'm like, well, I've heard this song so much, I'm just gonna skip it because I can't listen to it again because I've heard it so much. But then I felt like I was doing myself a disservice. So I went back and I listened to it, and I'm like, because in my head, I'm like, I know this song so well. It's imprinted on my brain, which it is, but I'm different now.
correct.
And so what I think it's going to sound like, I mean, it sounds like, but I receive it differently now. So it was worth going back and listening to All I Want. And I was like, oh, this is a banger. This is why it was on the radio. So I'm like doing a disservice to this awesome song because I think it's been so overplayed in my life that I'm not going to like it or want to hear it. But I actually do because it's a good song, and I can like separate the amount of times it's been played for what it is as a song. Same with like Smashing Pumpkins. Like if I listen to Melancholy, Infinite Sadness, so I skip Bullet with Butterfly Wings or Zero because I heard them both a million times. But then when I do listen to it, I'm like, fuck, this is why I like this song back then. This was a fucking jam. Like now I see why I beat it into the ground. Beat off into the ground. But
like cum shot.
And because they're good songs. So and I'm still going. I don't know what's next for it, but
I'll bring you a list. I'll bring you like 5 albums that I think you should revisit.
Okay.
Ooh, we could do that. We could do
And
5,
movies. So
5 albums, 5
too.
albums and movies for the other one to revisit. Analyzing old shit that no one wants to ever hear again or talk about again. I'm in for it. No, it's another thing.
It goes with like stuff. Well, to pin in it, it goes with a lot of the thing we talk about, like time. The idea of time. Do we have enough time? Like we're watching YouTube, or are we watching Netflix shows? Are we watching new things? What are we consuming? And like part of me is like, I can't go back and rewatch stuff or listen to stuff I've already listened to. It feels like, in a way, on paper, it feels like a waste of time to do that when there's like new shit. But I think it's cool to discover that's not a waste of time because like art is always subjective, so it can be different to you again. And so I think it is worth it, I would say, so far, to use time for that, I'll say, as an exploration.
I was gonna say a weird thing that I do with songs nowadays is I'll like, especially when I'm in my car, because of the type of listening, like you need the proper avenue. Like, you know how like songs sound 100% different if you're like listening on the radio compared to a CD at home, compared to on a sound system, compared to with wearing good headphones. Well, anywhere where I can really hear all the elements of a song, I'll focus on bass lines now. Because I'm like, you know what? I never acknowledged bass work as a kid. Like it fell by the wayside. Now we also listened to a lot of music that all the bass was playing the chord of whatever the guitars was. You know, when you're listening to like punk and pop punk and stuff, like a lot of times it's just like, or rock even, it's just like, well, it's the low part of the like that's all it is. But you'll hear songs and you're like, yo, that bassist is like doing their own thing off in La La Land. And it's so cool to acknowledge sometimes bass lines that for decades got lost in the mix to you. And you hear how different they are from the guitar part. And it works as a whole, but you rarely as a kid would you ever pluck it out of the whole and listen to that individually. So I do that a lot with songs.
Pluck it out of the hole. Well, you're right, because that's a good way to listen to songs too. Is like I think because I always grew up, especially listening to the guitar, you know, so you forget about the drum and the bass. I think in a way I lost out on songs because I wouldn't hear them as a whole. I would just hear be listening for the guitar or the riff or whatever, and I'd miss out on kind of the full sound. And yeah, you're right. It's fun to go back and appreciate the bass or what it does. Like in a way, it's like if you don't notice the bass, is that a good thing? Because it's just like you can't tell that it's there, but without it, it would change the whole song. Like that's a good bass. Probably,
there's social media drummers. I follow a couple of them. I can't think of their names right off the top of my head, but there'll be people that'll play like one song, but they'll change the style of drumming like 10 different times in that song. And only then do you go, holy shit. Like this song could have an entirely different feel and vibe if the only thing changed is the drummer. Like, and it's wild because like then it makes you like, I'll be honest with you. What it makes me think is I'm like, man, if bands want to do both concepts of keeping live shows fresh, but playing the classics and stuff, a really cool thing you could do is have your drummer do different styles of drumming. Like that can change songs so well and have it make a live concert seem so much of a different experience, but you're still letting people sing along to all the classics that they like. So it's incredible to listen to drum beats change on a song, because I would have never thought it could make a song feel entirely different until I started getting samples of it from social media drummers, Insta drummers.
Yeah, it's one of my YouTube vortexes too, and I'm not even into drumming, like
right,
but it's
I'm not a drummer.
People that are good at what they do, or like interesting takes on whatever, any kind of social or YouTube shit that you can sucker me in with anything, with any of the humanities. But I don't know if it's the channel or the show is called Drumeo, but they basically bring in accomplished drummers to listen to a popular song or another band song that they've never heard without the drum track and have them like make a drum track for it based on just hearing it.
That's cool.
And like, so they just have like Megadeth drummer do Misery Business by Paramore. That was like one of the latest videos. And it's cool because like, the Megadeth drummer is into. He's like, this is a cool song. I never heard of it before. Like whatever pop punky song. And then he does a really good rendition. It's sometimes it's really close. It's like right on the beat. Or sometimes he does his own like take on it. And it's a cool vortex. I think it's called Drumeo. Look it up. But I mean, there's also drummers that I've never heard of and songs I've never heard of. But it's a cool experiment.
Yeah.
To see, because it's fun to see people who are into something geek out about it. Like I really like that. But yeah, I mean, I've sat down at a drum set before. I can't do shit. I try it on with the iPhone, the GarageBand once in a while, like I've done that, and I had a Guitar Hero drum set, and you know what? I'll say I got pretty good at it. I could play some expert songs.
Oh, you are so valuable in terrible. The good band hero / rock band world. Like there were times where I'm like, should I put up a Craigslist ad searching for a rock band drummer because I want to have like full on groups, because no one ever wants to do drums because no one's good at them. That's all. So like, I didn't realize that you were, because like for me, Columbo was our band hero drummer. Like he wanted to play the drums. Yeah. He'd always come out and hang out, and like, me, him, and Bob might have like a jam sesh, and play for like 5 hours. And it's like, man, Columbo, I don't know how you're doing this. Like, how are you playing expert all the time on these drum sets? And I'd be like looking at his screen, and I'm like, I don't know how you're doing what you're doing. I'm like, I can't even fake it.
Yeah, I got good at it for like one summer, the summer of 2008. I remember sitting.
I was this close to booking gigs.
It was probably the first. It probably would have been the first clue that my girlfriend at the time, Amanda, could have been like, yeah, this might not work, because she would be going off to night classes. And it might even been before I had a job, when I was in Austin, before I worked at the university. But she'd be at classes, and I would just be like, for 4 hours at night. I've just been playing Guitar Hero drums the whole time. You're like, what'd you do? What have you been doing? I definitely went outside. Yeah, I did, but nah, I just played Guitar Hero drums for a long time. Yeah, I definitely wasn't getting super stoned and playing Guitar Hero drums the whole time. You were in class. No, I wasn't doing that.
No,
Yeah,
I was
not at
being
all.
just as productive. Okay, don't worry about me.
Yeah, real productive. All right. You know, I buried the lead. I didn't even show you. Next week, remind me.
Okay.
I went on a fishing trip this week.
Oh yeah,
Actually, that'll give me time. Yeah.
Damn it.
Pretty epic.
It looked epic.
Yeah. So you know what? I'll
cliffhanger.
I'll save it for the next one so that I'll upload some pictures or the video so I can put it on here. But yeah, first salmon fishing adventure of my life, and worth it. It paid off. So I'll bring the evidence next time.
Nice. That's hot.
All right. But yeah, I guess that'll do, pig. That'll do.
Stay hood rat.
Peace be with y'all. And let us know. Hey, we need more challenges, or what do you call them?
Debates.
Money. That's what we need. More money. Send us your monies. Debates, anything. Send it our way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know Sweeney.
Yeah,
Sweeney's
Billy. I think Billy will be enticed by this episode because we talked about like breaking down old
about a lot of
pop
content,
punk and music
yeah,
and stuff like that. This is up Billy's wheelhouse. I will not be surprised. Like, I would expect something music based from Billy. Billy's a big music guy. So if you're out there, Billy, and we know you are, you can't say that you're not. I know you're hearing this. Come out guns a-blazing. Argue whatever you want.
All right.
Bye.
That'll do.
Thanks for stopping by.
I am Jack's podcast final
Jesus
theme
Christ.
song.
This is fun.